Join me as I try to navigate my feelings of missing America while living in Portugal for 3 years. I think it's safe to say that living abroad can be a roller coaster of emotions, and one of the most relatable feelings is definitely missing the comforts of home. For me, it was a different story. While we certainly had an adjustment period and we definitely missed seeing our families, but something strange happened. We actually started speaking more to our daughters over WhatsApp and FaceTime, and as most expats know here, there are no shortage of visitors. Our family and friends love to visit us here, and we occasionally go back to the US if needed. And Portugal is the most calm and peaceful place that we have ever been, so gorgeous and very, very safe. When you move to a new country, especially one with a different culture, it's only natural to feel waves of nostalgia and homesickness. At first, everything is new and exciting, but as time goes on, some people start to miss the little things, the comforts that made your life back home feel, well, like home. For me, it was not a big adjustment, which frankly surprised me. I have 3 health conditions, and to say the least, I know I would have died from the stress that triggers most of my issues in the USA. Don't get me wrong, I did love growing up in the USA and living most of my adult life there. But things started to get bad for my health, and nothing good was happening. I seriously was close to the end. The food in Portugal is mostly a Mediterranean diet. Lots of fresh food, including seafood, meats, fruits, and vegetables. You have to try to buy processed items if you wish, but it is much more regulated here. To put it bluntly, this truly saved my life. It's funny because when you're in the midst of feeling homesick, it's easy to idealize your old life, remembering only the good times and forgetting the bad. But the truth is, even though I'm struggling to adapt to certain aspects of Portuguese life, I know that I left America for a reason, and that reason was to experience something new and challenging. So, when those feelings of nostalgia creep in, I have to remind myself that this is all part of the journey, and that growth often lies just outside of our comfort zones. One of the biggest challenges I've faced has been navigating the language barrier. I took German and a small amount of Spanish in junior high and high school, so I thought it would be a breeze to pick up Portuguese, but let me tell you, it's been a struggle. Simple tasks like grocery shopping or going to the pharmacy become daunting tasks when you can't communicate effectively. But I've been working on it, and slowly but surely, I'm starting to feel more confident in my abilities. We are getting better at the language due to lessons, and also just having Portuguese friends, which are not hard to make. Additionally, a lot of folks here speak English, or at least some English. You know, it's funny. People always talk about the big things they miss about their home country, but for me, over time, I can honestly say that I do not miss much of anything. We are able to find everything we want and need here, and at much less of the cost. Like the way American restaurants always have ice-cold water on tap, or how you can easily find decent Mexican food whenever you want. These may seem like trivial things, but when you're living abroad, it's often the tiny conveniences that you miss the most. Funny enough, we have found great Mexican restaurants, and any restaurant will give you ice if they have it, most of the time. We thought we were missing Thanksgiving, but this year we ordered a turkey from our butcher and had a great big dinner with 4 of our expat friends. The butcher was even excited to help us. FYI, my husband made this one and the real one. Haha. But even though we missed these comforts, I've also had to confront the fact that I left America for a reason. We wanted a change of pace, a new challenge, and a fresh perspective. And Portugal has definitely delivered on all those fronts. From the stunning architecture to the rich history and culture, there's always something new to explore and discover. And let's not forget the people. The Portuguese are some of the kindest, most welcoming folks I've ever met. There was a moment when it all clicked into place for me, when I realized that I didn't have to choose between my love for America and my new life in Portugal. I was at a little cafe in Lagos, our first home in southern Portugal, surrounded by locals chatting and laughing over coffee, and I felt this overwhelming sense of belonging. It wasn't about being American or Portuguese, it was about being human and connecting with the people and the place around me. In that moment, I knew that I could love and appreciate both cultures without having to choose between them. I even have several Portuguese and other expat friends which were super easy to meet. Just try to extend yourself. A quick example, we went to Setúbal today for a doctor's appointment, and we went to our favorite Mexican food restaurant there. We met another U.S. expat couple there that only had been there 2 months. They were already excitedly sharing recommendations for dinners and places to go. People are just so friendly here. So, that's my take on missing America while living in Portugal. It's not always easy, but it's definitely worth it. If you're an expat or just someone who's ever felt the pang of homesickness, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos on living abroad and cultural differences. Thanks for watching.